up on CTN Journal. They are the engine that makes local food shelves run. We meet the volunteers who help to feed thousands. Then, check out the talent. We chat with a young poet who just published a book, and later see the work of other aspiring young artists in the area. Hello and welcome to CTN Journal. I'm Jennifer Anderson. March is Minnesota Food Share Month. It is the largest grassroots effort in the state to raise food and funds for food shelves. What better time to recognize our neighbors who work tirelessly to keep local families well fed.
Friends and neighbors, that's what it's all about here.
ACBC Food Shelf in Anoka is in the business of giving.
We exist by the grace of God and by the grace of ACBC.
ACBC gives food to those who might otherwise not have enough. It also gives fellowship to thousands of recipients and hundreds of volunteers that pass through the doors.
Are you ready to get in here?
After a year of volunteering at ACBC, Karen Schmidt now gives of her time every week.
Well, this next few weeks I'm going to be here probably.
And the hours?
Well, till 1, what's that, 6?
Add up.
Times 3, 18 hours for these weeks.
But sorting produce and delivering meals isn't her only gift to the food shelf.
Karen Schmidt is a firecracker.
ACBC manager Jay Carlson says Karen, like many of the volunteers here, gives the atmosphere a real boost.
We call her Schmitty around here. She's just got such spunk and energy that she kind of helps power, and a lot of our volunteers are like that. We power each other, we run off each other, the energy that we create, and we have fun.
It's a good crew.
Karen says if she gives good vibes while she's here, she's in good company.
There's a couple of them that are nuts, but then they say I am too.
A longtime resident of Coon Rapids, in her retirement, Karen decided to give this a try and was quickly hooked.
I have extra time, so I thought, I'm going to go volunteer. And I walked in here, and this is quite an operation. I'm really impressed with this operation, what they do here. And the people that they help is just something else. It's just very good.
Volunteers are truly the heartbeat of the food shelf. More than 170 people volunteer regularly, taking at least one shift a month. Many work several days a week.
This place could not run without the huge support of the volunteers in this community. We only have 5 employees and 3 of us are part-time. So we wouldn't be able to do anything here, like serve a single person without the volunteers that are showing up.
And serve they do. The good work of Karen and dozens more like her help 35,000 recipients each year.
It allows us to eat.
Recipients like Mike Stang.
They make you smile. They're always kidding, joking, making you feel better.
A veteran of the Navy, Mike started coming to ACBC when he was laid off after working in electronics at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts for 31 years.
So I got a severance package and, went down the road. And I thought, well, I might as well use my VA benefits and get back into school.
Visits here bridge the gap for Mike and his children while he finishes his degree. As for Karen, she may give her time, but the food shelf gives her something too.
And that's why you do it. And it gives you that good feeling.
She's just an incredible person. We've got so many stories like that, so many fun people that come through here and volunteer. It's like, I've literally got the best job in this county. Like, I get to hang out with all these super rad people. So we have a lot of fun, and it's a great way to feel good about yourself and feel good about your community.
Another crew working hard to help ACBC Food Shelf are a group of very active seniors inside Coon Rapids City Hall. The Senior Center does an annual food collection in March to help boost donations at ACBC during Minnesota Food Share Month. Visitors and city employees are also encouraged to make non-perishable donations. Last year, the seniors collected more than 500 pounds of food and $400.
So as the month goes on, our little walkway behind our counter gets smaller and smaller, and our volunteers have to be careful that they don't fall and trip over something because the pile gets to be pretty heaping. We have some people that will bring in several bags, or they'll go to Costco and make a big purchase, and then there's other people who will bring a can, just a can of soup or $5, and it all adds up, and that's what's really important is everybody just does a little bit and it adds up.
Minnesota Food Share began in 1982. Each year during the month of March, the Food Share campaign works to restock roughly 300 food shelves statewide. It's usually the time when nonprofits do their biggest fundraising efforts. Last year, during Minnesota Food Share Month, communities across the state raised $8.1 million and 5.5 million pounds of food. Our next story takes us to Coon Rapids High School. Ninth grade can be a big year of change for any student. That is certainly the case for the freshman you're about to meet. Adeline Schultz can now say she's a published poet. In the halls of high school, bravery can look like many things.
It's definitely a question worth considering.
Coon Rapids freshman Adeline Schultz brandishes hers between two covers.
I guess it was a little bit scary just to think that people might get a general idea about who I am based on what I write, but then I realized I shouldn't really be scared though, because people are gonna have ideas about me no matter what I do.
Titled Listen, Addie recently published a book of heartfelt poetry. She began writing in earnest in the 7th grade. Just a little more than 2 years later, Addie released her first collection through Kindle Direct Publishing.
Try to make poems that other people will be able to relate to and be like, yes, this is what it's like right now. This is what I'm feeling.
Addie is part of the Math League at Coon Rapids High School and a volunteer at her local library. She also has a love of words.
I guess when I read it just kind of feels like time doesn't exist.
Even in a few stolen moments between classes, Addie immediately reaches for a book.
I mean, people have this way where they can just arrange words and sentences. I feel like they're kind of like magical with the words.
It was at a local author fair, like this one hosted by Anoka County Library, that Addie got the push she needed to put her words out into the world.
What should I do to the people that left me? I could write a poem or draw a picture, but in the end it wouldn't matter. Therefore, I will compose a symphony, one of immense emotion, and when at last I die, its sound will perhaps be let out into the world.
It's Addie's first grasp at making some magic of her own, with a courage beyond her years.
I'm doing something that I'm really happy about and something that I have wanted to do for a very, very long time.
Listen by Adeline Schultz is now available for purchase on Amazon in paperback or for Kindle. Addie dedicated her book to one of her former teachers at Coon Rapids Middle School. Well, another group of students get to see their work in print as well. Anoka Middle School for the Arts publishes an annual journal filled with student work. The publication, called The Storm, is 75 pages of artwork and writing samples. The National Council for Teachers of English gave the journal an award of excellence. It is the only middle school in the state to earn such recognition. Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of CTN Journal. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time.